is this. We're gonna practice what I think is my top 7 best stretches to get the low back out of pain. And I kind of put them in order as far as how I would progress somebody in like a get out of pain session. All right, so we're gonna do those tonight. They're super easy to do. The first one is called the prone press up. All right, the first thing you want to do is just get down on the floor on your belly and press up. Now, this is going to be one of those exercises that is ability level. So sometimes if you're in pain, it might just be an elbow exercise where you're just on your elbows in this position, and that's as much of an extension as you can get into. Other times you're going to be able to press up all the way, but you want to build this into kind of your low back prevention regimen as maybe even just a warm up on a day that you work out during some tightness in your back. It's a great way to just get into that extension position. The science behind it really is to pump the fluid back into the spine. So if you had a bulging disc, this would be pumping fluid back the other way and try and get the bulge to go back the opposite way, and that's the idea. So the prone press up. This next one, cat cow. This one is kind of taken from yoga, and as you can see, I have decent flexion, but I don't have that much extension here. You want to time this with your breath. So I'm breathing out right here, and then I would be breathing in as my belly expands, and I'm breathing in that 360. I want to be breathing both from my diaphragm, my side of my abdominals, and my back. And just rocking back and forth can kind of really help out this. But this is about range of motion, focusing on your breath, and just having these two extremes, flexion and extension of the back. Here we go with the thread the needle exercise. This one I don't start with, definitely. That's why it's number 3 in this lineup. It's kind of a good follow-on after the cat-cow, but this is basically mobility for the T-spine, the thoracic spine, and I'm using the arm that I have down right now as leverage. So my right arm is kind of help pushing away. I just go back and forth. The next one here, hamstring floss mobility drill. This is a 3-step deal. So the first thing is you want to get the hamstring a stretch, then you want to extend the leg, then you want to flex your ankle or dorsiflex your, see how I'm pointing that toe right at my face there. So it's a 1, 2, 3. So first hamstring, then extend the leg, then toes at your face or dorsiflexion. And usually around 5 reps per leg is good. You'll definitely know when you've had enough. Nothing more than 10 reps is needed. Right here, the pretzel stretch. This is difficult to get into, but kind of watch how I do it here. This is a stretch alone for my left leg. Look at my left leg. That's a good quadricep stretch, just being in this. But I make it a full body stretch by rocking back and forth. So I'm getting hip mobility, I'm getting T-spine mobility, and the idea here is to really focus on keeping your core actually not twisting. So I want to move at the hip, I want to move at the T-spine and shoulder, but I really don't want to have a whole lot of twisting at the core, even though it might feel like that. Get both sides, 5 and 5, focus on breath. You can use breath work really as an enhanced stretch in this. Here we go with the next one. I call this one the 3D stretch. I've never actually known what the name of it is, but I just call it the 3D stretch. So I get in that 90-90 position with my hips and knees, and then what I'm actually doing here is I'm reaching, I get a chest stretch, bring it down, I'm grabbing my thumb, and I'm keeping that arm straight. That's very important that we keep my left arm in this picture straight, and that enhances the hip stretch, it enhances the upper back stretch. And again, just like all exercises, we want to minimize twisting at the core and move at the hips and the T-spine. The hips and the T-spine. The core or the lumbar section of the body should always be kind of neutral, especially when you're mobilizing. Here we go with the 90-90 hip stretch. This one is just good for
any warm-up. It's good in general. Now, the reason why people have some low back pains is they're not very mobile at their hips, or above the low back is the T-spine. That's why I keep kind of going after these two areas of the body that should be mobile, the hips and the T-spine. The lumbar, the core of the body, should be fairly stable. So hip 90-90, great exercise. Now we move into the core exercises. These are the big three. Now this one, you're not going to see a whole lot of movement, but that's it right there. I'm actually just getting my abs to fire. And you'll see my hands are underneath my low back. I do not want to push my low back into my hands. I want to definitely just curl up and pause. Second one here, side plank, different forms, different ability levels. The main objective here is really to get your glutes turned on. I'm pushing my knee down into the ground here and get that hip up as high as I can. It is a shoulder stability exercise, so you can kind of grab your shoulder for some extra support, but you want to get both sides to your ability level. I would definitely start at 20 seconds, grow it to 30. You can add in these little arm stretches in here, and you can count reps like that instead of seconds. So there's many different ways of doing the side plank. The last one of the big three is the bird dog exercise. This exercise is often done wrong. What we want to do is just really emphasize no movement at the core, no movement at the lumbar spine. So if you're looking at my low back here, I want to minimize movement, any movement at my core, and I want to move at my appendages or my shoulder and hip. So I really don't want to have that arch happening in my back. That means I'm just losing core stability. I'm losing my lumbar spine. And you can make this extreme, but you got to listen to your body, and there should be no movement at the lumbar spine. So we really don't want to aim for how high the leg can go or how high the arm can go. That has really nothing to do with it. We want to be able to move as freely as we can, but again, keep the core still so these exercises can transfer then to squatting, hinging. That's the whole principle. When you're deadlifting, you don't want to have your lumbar round. You don't want to have your low back round in a deep squat either. So still core, stable core, no movement.